know, on one hand, Charlo will say that he's his own boss, and he messages me and says, send me an email. So I send him an email, and then he says, I don't make any decisions, speak to Al Heyman. Well, what happened to Lions Only Promotion? Or whatever it's called. I think it needs to be Cubs Only Promotion. Because man up, be your own boss, and let people know what you want to do. If you're not willing to fight another champion in a unification fight for twice as much money, more money than you've ever made, there's something I don't understand. Are you getting talked out of it? Is someone telling you they've got better options for you? So if it's a network thing, do it on Fox. And if it's not, take the money and prove you're the best.
What's up, fam? Mainman Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Salute to the fam, man. The thing is this. I'm looking at this article over there on Boxing Scene, and they got Tom Brown, boxing promoter, head pretty much the number one boxing promoter that promotes over there Premier Boxing Champions over at PBC. And he's also the former promoter of Jermall Charlo, amongst many PBC fighters. And he's speaking on the Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade fight. And I'm going to paraphrase here. I'll put the full quote right here and a link in the description of the full article. And what he is saying and alluding to is no one wants to see Demetrius Andrade fight. He is saying that Demetrius Andrade, and he's quoting Eddie Hearn and saying that Eddie Hearn even once upon a time said Demetrius Andrade is horrendous to watch. He's also saying that Eddie Hearn wants to send Demetrius Andrade over to PBC and Showtime because DAZN don't want to get stuck and pay for a Charlo and Andrade fight. And they'd rather see PBC stuck with that fight. All in all, what I got from Tom Brown was PBC don't want this fight. And that's messed up. That's messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because what we see when we see this is a unification fight, a major marquee fight at middleweight, a rivalry that's played out in the public for quite some time. But what he sees is no one wants to see this fight. What he sees is they don't want to get stuck paying for this fight. And Demetrius Andrade is born. Now, as a boxing promoter, if I got a fighter and I want to raise his stock, and I look and I see somebody looking vulnerable, like Demetrius Andrade looked vulnerable in his last fight against Liam Williams, what I see that as an opportunity. Remember what Eddie Hearn said, and I got to give Eddie Hearn full credit. He straight up cornered PBC on this situation and got this. He's on top of this. He's on top of the whole narrative of this, and he's coming out on top, and he's looking the best. I don't give him a lot of credit, as much credit as I know. I don't normally give him that much credit, you know what I'm saying? But in this case, Eddie Hearn deserves full credit. He covered every avenue. They're trying to allude to that they don't want to pay for this, but Eddie Hearn told them that we will send Demetrius Andrade over to PBC and Showtime for the same amount of money that y'all paid Sergey Deryevchenko. And Sergey Deryevchenko wasn't even a champion. And not to mention, he also provided the option of, if you don't want Andrade to come on over there, then send Charlo over here for a one-fight deal. For a one-fight deal. And they're going to pay him good money to do it. And if he beats Andrade, he could take the title back on over to PBC and Showtime, no questions asked. So he's already covered it. So it's like, look, if you don't want to get stuck paying for a PBC, send it on over there. Eddie is clearly saying that we will do it. So it don't make no sense. See, I'm telling y'all, man, the mind of a suit, the way they see things, a lot of they BS get played out in all this. They don't be liking each other. They be having behind the scenes little beefs. They don't want to do favors for one another. And all in all, it prevents a lot of fights. This is why boxing takes such a hit. And these promoters and outfits are attached to networks, making it that much more harder to make fights. All in all, boxing is the one taking the hit. If I'm Jermall Charlo and I see this, I'm saying to myself, okay, cool, look, man, what else you got me doing? You got me fighting Montiel, a dude with 4 losses and 2 draws on a voluntary. What else you got me doing, man? I can run over there and get that belt up off Andrade. He looking a little old right now. His legs looking a little slowed down. I can run over there and get that belt, make $5, $6, $7 million. Come on back. Major legacy points. I'm a unified champion now. Raising my stock. It all works. If I'm Charlo, that's what I'm looking at. But instead, Charlo, like I'm not my own boss. I can't make my fights. So Now that we got a peek into the mind state of these suits and how they looking at it, do you put the fault at the fighter or the handlers? That's been something I've been kind of stressing on the channel. It makes it even worse, the fact that the Benavidez situation played out and who Charlo is fighting, for them to thumb up their nose at Demetrius Andrade and like, we don't want Andrade, don't need Andrade. He's boring. Then who else do you got for Charlo? It's like you shortchanging Charlo in the end. So this is just messed up, man. And it just makes me believe that this fight ain't got no kind of sign of happening. I don't understand. I mean, why they just can't send Charlo over there for one fight? What's the big deal? He gets one fight on DAZN. If y'all not tripping off Andrade and he's boring and no one wants to see him, y'all shouldn't be tripping off the ratings that DAZN get behind it or the shine that they get behind it, right? But it's just a bunch of crap, man. And it's just a major letdown, bro. Just a major letdown. In a lot of cases, and this plays out across boxing in so many fights. It's the suits. I always speak about this with Spence and Bud. If left alone in a room, they come out with a deal. They come out worked out something. But if in a room and both sides got 3 suits behind them and all of the suits are doing all the talking, well, we might not get a deal. You know what I'm saying? Because they got shit. They got lawsuits. They got competitiveness. They got little things they do and don't want to do with each other. That hurts the sport. And I got to give credit to Eddie Hearn in this one. He came out early and said, we will do whatever that needs to be done. Clearly, he knows that Demetrius Andrade is in bad need of a fight, and he has to be flexible. You would think that PBC would have the same mindset. I guess they don't believe that Charlo needs an infusion of names right now. They got Eris Andy Laura coming up the middleweight. Maybe they make Laura versus Charlo. I don't know. 2 fighters from the same stable. Good luck with that. But at the end of the day, man, I just don't know what's going on with Jermall Charlo. Even when they were going to do Chris Eubank Jr., I still would have preferred to see Andrade. I don't know which way Charlo going to go after Montiel. This is just a big letdown for all of us, man. And this is why boxing right now is just like, yo, man, in the favorability department is hitting a low, man. Because fights just crumbling. Fights are not getting made, should I say, because of a lot of behind-the-scenes bull crap. Just a lot of behind the scenes bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thumbs up for the homie, man. Very unfortunate. I just want everybody to know where we stand. I don't think we get in this fight, man. I really have no more hope for Andrade and Charlo after seeing the mind state of PBC and how they're not willing to send Charlo across and they're not willing to have Andrade come to them. It's just right now we're at a brick wall and it makes no damn sense. To the next video, man. Peace out.